Some progressive reporters really don't like it when you demand election security. Wonder why that is. Welcome to the Jason Rantz Show, presented by None Better Tax Resolution. All of us should demand that our elections be as secure as humanly possible. A demand that doesn't make you a kook. Yet everyday citizens doing the work the media won't do ends up getting them smeared. Case in point, King 5 News. Their reporter, Chris Ingalls, has been seemingly obsessed with the Thurston County Voter Research Project, the VRP. It's comprised of volunteers who do research to see whether or not elections are secure, and that includes whether or not registrations are up to date. But Ingalls doesn't like these challenges. He calls these people election skeptics. A truly silly term. What does that even mean? They're skeptical that elections take place? Listen to what Ingalls says the VRP is up to.
Members of the Voter Research Project, VRP, canvassed neighborhoods in 2021, trying to verify that voters actually live at the addresses where they're registered as required by law to receive a ballot by mail. VRP told Thurston County elections officials at that time they were checking out 2,164 voters with suspicious registration.
Ooh, so citizen volunteers are spending their own time and energy making sure that people are legally registered to vote? Huh. They basically do what they can to make sure someone is registered to the address that they claim. If they're suspicious, they can challenge them. Investigations or challenges like these, they're completely legal. And they're not that difficult to conduct. They compare postal records to the voter's mailing address, all of which is public. But I know they're kooks, right? Election skeptics. And of course, that's what Ingalls wants you to think.
Lacey resident Angela Donovan is a witness in one of those cases. She signed a sworn affidavit that her mother-in-law does not live at this home, even though it's her in-law's registered voting address.
I mean, I signed the thing saying she wasn't living here no more.
So that's how I got this affidavit.
This is the VRP volunteer who showed up earlier this year at Angela's house. Angela thought she was a county elections employee.
They looked like they were official enough, so I'm like, whatever, you know.
Based on Angela's affidavit, VRP filed this, a voter registration challenge.
If they think that the person is registered illegally or they no longer reside at their address, any citizen can bring a challenge for that voter.
In that case, it turns out, much to the excitement of Ingalls, the volunteers got it wrong.
This letter we sent out certified mail.
John Claybaugh is the Voter Research Project coordinator in Thurston County.
Our research indicates this is not where the voter resides.
Although Claybaugh was unable to reach Angela's mother-in-law, the county's investigator did. She spoke to her by phone the morning of this hearing in July.
She indicated to us that she is actually in California right now. She is tending to her 91-year-old father. She does say that she will be coming back to Thurston County.
Based on that, the auditor's office denied the voter registration challenge.
There you have it, folks. There was a perfectly good explanation. But the only way the auditor's office knew that it was just an honest mistake was calling the voter and confirming. The volunteers were right that the woman isn't living at the address, and it was the voter's daughter who confirmed that. What if she did move? The auditor had no clue. The auditor would have been still sending the ballot every single election. That's precisely why volunteers are doing this work. This could have been an issue and the county would have had no idea. Now you might be saying to yourself, but it was still wrong. There was no fraud or anything untoward. Sure, in that case. But notice this nugget buried in the written piece, not the on-air piece. VRP has filed 28 challenges this year. Of 9 hearings so far, 5 challenges have been sustained. 4 cases, including the mother-in-law, have been denied. So in other words, over half of the challenges that have been heard, the VRP was right. And one of those cases, by the way, was a student without a green card being registered to vote. Now, of course, in the package, Ingalls downplays that. And listen to how he frames the 5 successful challenges out of 9.
There are 200,000 registered voters in Thurston County, and after 2 years of work, the VRP there has only had 5 successful challenges, a very small number.
So over half of their hearings were sustained, but Ingalls doesn't want to say that. He compares it to the overall number of registered voters, who, by the way, don't all vote. There's undoubtedly a faction of voters, almost exclusively to the right, that spread misinformation about election security and make baseless claims. When they do that, they do a tremendous disservice because they disincentivize conservatives to vote. But this group, in this piece, is doing work that the county should be doing, cleaning up voter rolls to ensure there's no illegally cast vote or the possibility of one. That's what we expect of our auditors. You're an election skeptic if you say there could be fraud, but also you're an election skeptic if you find illegally registered voters. So if you dare question anything on elections, and you happen to be a Republican, left-wing media will label you a kook. Reporters are supposed to be curious. They're supposed to uncover these kinds of irregularities. But folks like Ingalls appear to not want you to even ask questions to begin with. So ask yourself, why is that? Jason Rantz here with Greg Nunn, your local tax expert and advocate. Greg, thank you so much for coming on.
Hey, Jason, great to be with you again and talk about these tax issues.
Okay, so why should anyone in trouble with the IRS contact you immediately?
The sooner the better, because it's so much easier to deal with an IRS situation at the beginning than when you're getting toward the end and they're getting very aggressive. And at the same time, it takes that pressure off of you sooner and gives you that peace of mind that, hey, no more fear of going to the mailbox because I'm here helping you.
So by connecting with you, can you assure people that they won't have the IRS on their doorstep or calling them nonstop?
When you have representation, you definitely do not want to talk to the IRS ever, and you don't have to. You are protected by statute, by law, that when you have representation, they have to deal with your representative. And I am acting in your best interest when I'm dealing with the IRS, and I tell you, you don't want to talk to them, it'll just stress you out.
Greg, thank you so much. That was really, really helpful.
Hey, it's my pleasure, and I just really hope that what I've said helps some people that are in tax difficulty.
If you're having trouble with the IRS, then call Greg Nunn. Greg might be able to negotiate a settlement for up to 85% off the original amount owed, including penalties and interest. Call Greg Nunn today. Did you like this video? We have a whole lot more over at ktth.com.